He's got a gifted eye for the dark and the twisted.
It's weird and pissed off, whatever it is.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 John Carpenter movies.
Pretty relaxed and he won't die.
For this list, we're looking at those films made by this prolific director that left an indelible mark on our young, impressionable minds. While Carpenter has been in the movie-making business longer than most of us have been alive, his cult classics can stand up to some of the most CGI-laden flicks that grace the big screens today. His filmography has given us some of the best chills and campiest fun film moments.
Do you want some too, buddy?
Number 10. Vampires.
Much obliged.
Sure, there have been a ton of vampire movies throughout the years, including vampires of the sparkly, lovelorn variety. But our favorites have always been the bloodthirsty, ruthless breed.
You want to kill one, you drive a wooden stake right through his heart.
In this film, Carpenter gives us James Woods as an anti-hero vampire hunter who must stop a centuries-old master vampire before he can get his hands on an ancient cross.
What will silence you?
There's lots of blood and bites, and even a Baldwin.
I'm sorry. It's gonna be all right.
And all the signature gore and nasty humor you'd expect from a John Carpenter joint. Number 9. Dark Star.
Commander Powell, this is Doolittle. Something serious has come up. I have to ask you a question.
As Carpenter's earliest major directorial effort, this film wasn't a smash success. But it did put him on the map in the industry.
That's not for target practice. That's for emergencies only.
The film centers on a skeleton crew of planet destroyers who've been in space for longer than they'd like.
I mean, think of it this way. We've been in space for 20 years now, right?
Along with that story come elements of dark comedy as well as science fiction. But what was probably most impressive was its quality in spite of its shoestring budget, which is another of Carpenter's trademark skills.
Glow. Glow with all the colors of the rainbow. Nobody knows why. They just glow as they drift around the universe. The Phoenix asteroid.
Number 8. The Fog.
Well, my gauges must be wrong. I've got a wind blowing due east. Now, what kind of a fog moves against the wind?
While fog may usually only be a major concern for motorists and sailors, Carpenter threw some murderous ghosts into the mist to up the ante.
At the same time that fog was moving in, this whole town went unglued.
Set in a fishing town on the coast of California, this movie deals with a menacing, glowing fog, packed to the gills with the ghosts of vengeful sailors, looking to kill anyone caught in the haze.
Ahoy, mateys. This is Stevie Wayne, your nightlight.
With Scream Queens Adrienne Barbeau,
Stay away from the fog.
Jamie Lee Curtis, and her mother Janet Leigh acting in the film.
Thank you.
The Fog became a minor horror classic. Number 7. Assault on Precinct 13.
Proceed to Precinct 9, Division 13, and take over from Captain Gordon.
Carpenter's second major film was a deviation from the science fiction and fantasy classics we associate him with.
Apparently.
Assault on Precinct 13 follows a police lieutenant, a convicted felon, and a small group as they struggle to stay alive in a police precinct undergoing a full-on gang attack.
Why would anybody shoot at a police station?
While the film wasn't initially a success in the United States,
I think we've just been marked for something.
it blew up overseas, prompting a critical reassessment in later years.
What does that mean?
It's seen as one of the finest action flicks of its time, and one of Carpenter's best. Number 6. Starman.
Take it easy.
Up yours.
This film is a softer take on the sci-fi genre, starring Jeff Bridges as an alien who falls in love with a human woman as he tries to make it home.
You find love.
After the alien spacecraft is shot out of the air, he takes on the appearance of a widow's deceased husband, and the two journey to reconnect him with his alien recon crew.
What do you want with me? Where are you taking me? Why do you look so much like Scott?
It's kind of like E.T., but with grown-ups and baby making. It's the only John Carpenter film to ever receive an Oscar nomination, thanks to Bridges' unique performance.
I watched you very carefully.
Red light, stop. Green light, go. Yellow light, go. Very fast.
Number 5. Big Trouble in Little China.
Is it getting hot in here, or is it just me?
The film may not have been a great commercial success.
Wait a minute, pal.
And may have been the flick that turned Carpenter back towards indie fare.
The more exotic, the better.
But it's one of the filmmaker's most celebrated cult classics.
Yes, sir, the check is in the mail.
The film follows Kurt Russell as Jack Burton and his friend Wang Chi as they set out to rescue Chi's girlfriend from the clutches of an evil sorcerer.
The darkest magic.
As an action-adventure film, it's like Mortal Kombat meets Indiana Jones, but with a needlessly self-assured hero.
Feel pretty good. And I'm not scared at all. I just feel kind of invincible.
Number 4. They Live.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
It's a conspiracy theorist's fantasy, complete with the alien overlords.
What's your problem? I said, what's your problem?
The film stars Rowdy Roddy Piper as a construction worker who uncovers an alien scheme to keep humans in a perpetual state of obedience and conformity using mass media, which, probably isn't that far-fetched.
Everybody's got their own hard times these days.
After getting into an unnecessarily long fight with Keith David's character.
Man, I told you, I didn't want to be in.
The two head out to unravel the scheme and reveal the truth to the masses.
What's wrong?
And the result is another Carpenter cult classic that meshes politics and horror.
We are off crisis alert. The situation is normal again.
With sci-fi and comedy.
You're okay. This one, real ugly. You see, I take these glasses off. She looks like a regular person, doesn't she, huh? Put them back on, formaldehyde face.
Number 3, Escape from New York. In a not-so-distant future, or past really, Manhattan has transformed into a maximum security prison for lifelong prisoners.
Why are we talking?
When the president's plane crash lands smack dab in the middle of the island, renegade inmate Snake Plissken
With me.
is commissioned to save the president's life before a lawless gang leader can execute him.
Looking for somebody.
Who?
The president.
Not only was the film a critical and commercial success, it also established Kurt Russell as a Carpenter favorite,
I've got his pulse.
as he would go on to star in several of Carpenter's features, including a return for this film's sequel, Escape from LA. Number 2, Halloween.
So what is this big news?
While Dark Star may have put Carpenter on the map, this film launched him into the stratosphere, although critics were still slow to get on board.
Go watch TV.
The film follows the story of a babysitter, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, who's stalked by the murderous masked madman Michael Myers on Halloween night.
What's the boogeyman?
Not only did the film go on to become incredibly successful commercially,
I'll kill you if this is a joke.
it also set the standard for future slasher films that followed, with its use of unique camera angles, minimal gore, and its primitive thrills. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Do you like my ending? Any suggestions?
Some kind of power directed outward, a controlled force.
What's it doing?
Reaching out, influencing, changing things, moving objects by thought.
It really works. Oh, Nick, you have a face again.
If I had eyes and teeth, it'd be a whole head.
Number 1, The Thing.
What is that? Is that a man in there or something?
Whatever it is, they burn it up in a hurry.
Kurt Russell takes the lead again, this time playing MacReady, a helicopter pilot stuck on a remote Antarctic outpost with a shape-shifting alien.
I think it rips through your clothes when it takes you over.
And a crew that's trying to stay alive.
I just cannot believe any of this voodoo bullshit.
The film was released to moderate financial success, but was overshadowed by another alien-themed movie released a few weeks prior that had a much more positive outlook on extraterrestrials.
E.T. phone home. Home.
Decidedly dark and wonderfully creepy. The Thing is nevertheless now considered one of the best of its genre, thanks to its groundbreaking special effects and makeup, and Carpenter's characteristic creepiness. Do you agree with our list?
There are so many questions that I'd like to ask you. I hardly even know where to begin.
What are your favorite John Carpenter films?
Well, kiddo, I thought you outgrew superstition.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
They're running the whole show.